All right, flyover state. Dear Bill, I live in what is often referred to as a flyover state. I appreciate you defending us and calling out people who use it. I fucking love it, man. Those states are great. They're not overly populated, and they're fucking beautiful. Dude, you give me a lush green topography with a fucking lake, and no traffic, I'm sold. Anyways, I appreciate you defending us and calling out people who use it. Not so much the phrase, but the dismissive tone it's used by some. The way you talk about something eventually informs how you feel about it if you're not careful. I'm not saying everyone in my place of the world is the most progressive person you ever met. Hey, dude, I live in L.A. L.A. is not the most progressive place either, including people who think they're really progressive. You can get so progressive, you can get fucking crazy, and you can go so far the other way, you're at a neo-Nazi meeting, which I can do all of that within fucking a half hour of my house. Just as many bigots in large cities from my experience. That is 100% true. They just know, I've missed a sentence. I'm not saying every my place is progressive person, most progressive person you ever meet, but damn, if that's not an ignorant part of the stereotype. Just as many bigots in large cities from my experience. That has been my experience, experience of some of my friends or whatever. It's just like some of the wild shit that people have said, I've had said while being in the middle of nowhere, Florida, Chicago, everywhere. Heard it everywhere. I just want to let you know that in my country, we've had 3 cases of COVID in the last 3 months. 0 deaths since it started and never had crowded hospitals. My mother has worked at the largest hospital in the area for almost 40 years, so it's not just some shit I read on the internet. We live clean and eat organic and all that good stuff without even trying. From what I can tell, people in cities spend lots of money to avoid bad food. Yes, we do. We don't need a Whole Foods out here. People just give you stuff from their gardens because they got so much of it. You could say we're almost like socialists in that manner. Yeah, we got fast food and bad habits too, but it ain't worse than Yak in the Box, he said, and whatever else you got to settle on. We got 3rd-generation burger stands instead. Love your podcast. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I really am... I'm sold on it. I went on Zillow and looked at some places. Not like I'm not moving, but was just looking at it every once in a while if I want to irritate myself. And 2 of my favorite places, Milwaukee and Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I found this place in Chattanooga, Tennessee, because I always just see what's the most expensive house I could buy out here. And I found one out there for like just under $3 million. It was 19,000 square feet. It had a half court of basketball. It had an indoor pool that when they took a picture of it, it looked like you were in a dated hotel. The decor needed a little dressing up, but it was fucking ridiculous. The house was huge. You were up on a hill with a view. That house would be $100 million out here in L.A. So there is something to say about being out there, but to be honest with you, I just wouldn't want to be an interracial couple living in the middle of fucking nowhere because I just don't need those fucking, the yahoos out there are pretty fucking scary. So, but having said that, I'm a huge fan of a bunch of these cities that I've gone to, and now I'm actually looking at even smaller places, and I find the smaller I go, the more I like. Last year, when I went I stayed on that lake, and we went to a Clemson game. I mean, I fell in love with that place. The pace of it, the lake, the middle of fucking nowhere, people just leaving you the fuck alone, is really just, But, there's also amazing aspects to living in a city, too. But, I kind of when I was out doing that gig in Ohio, I was really just being like, wow, man, I could drive my F-100 around these country roads Granted, I couldn't do it for a number of months because it's snowing out, but who gives a shit? Just start it up and I'll be fine. I could have a motorcycle out here and not feel like I was going to die every 10 fucking feet. I could fly a helicopter out of this cool-ass fucking airport that's not super busy. I mean, there was just a lot. Fresh air, their fucking dairy farm. I mean, it was amazing. Now, granted, when you just dip in, you don't get like a feel of, what the school systems and all of that shit's like. But I mean, I don't know. I get why people live out there.